Hello there. I wanted to hop on and share out of chapter 18, the after impressions out of my book, Don't Be a Stranger, Creating Connections and Memorable First Impressions in Everyday Life. I'm Alicia Nodeman. And this chapter is subtitled Meet Me Inside. And what do I mean by that? I basically mean meet me on the inside, get to know me, right? Beyond just initial impressions, actually take the time to get to know people that you're engaging with if you would like to foster a relationship beyond just a chance encounter and create something out of these seeds that you've learned to plant throughout the rest of the book. The rest of the book was really about creating those moments in time that allow you to decide, do you align with someone? Do you find curiosity, intrigue, and excitement and wanting to get to know someone further? And then Meet Me Inside is about, okay, now how do we get to that point? How do we get to the point that there's now a relationship that starts to build? So that said, your first gift is in the connection. Congratulations. If you've made it this far, you've learned how to establish memorable connections and refine the art of first impressions. Relationships happen in the follow-up. I'm sure you've heard the saying, the fortune's in the follow-up, and relationships are not always easy to manage. I can't tell you how often I've established a strong foundation with an unforgettable stranger, or strong connection rather, and then failed to follow up for any host of excuses, from being busy, forgetful, waiting so long that it got awkward, you name it. I've also met great people who seemed blown away by me in an initial meeting and then failed to effectively follow up. But why do we do this? Why do we invest our time and energy into people and then forge strong initial connections, build memorable moments, and then miss the boat on cultivating a genuine relationship? Honestly, I'm not concerned with the why, because that simply invites excuses. So instead, let's stop and let's just be better. For years, I've been known as a connector in the communities that I serve, from psychology to skincare. All this means is that when I met someone who was looking for a particular something and I knew another person who could provide it, I would excitedly say, I know someone you might want to meet. Or I would love to connect with you using their name. Or I would love to connect you to my colleague or my friend so-and-so using their name. I think the two of you would have a lot to talk about. May I put you in touch? Or simply, I would love to learn more about you. May I get your email or phone number? Seldom will anybody say no. I do recommend you follow up immediately and remind the person of where, how, and when you met. So, hi, so-and-so, it was great meeting you at XYZ charity event or what have you. I look forward to reconnecting. This way you allow the person to save face if it's days later, or maybe they've met a whole bunch of people at networking events, and this way they don't have to ask you, I'm sorry, who is this? And you can avoid that awkward moment. This allows you both to share the responsibility in establishing a genuine relationship after the meeting, if there is to be one. Using complete sentences and power words, there's a whole chapter on what do I mean by power words, is a good rule of thumb when initiating follow-up. Please do not text what's up or hey to new contacts, or please don't say let's hang out. Including a question in your message is a great way to get conversation flowing. A phone call is even more impressive, although these days in today's world, there are some people that have an estranged relationship with phone calls. Aziz Ansari, comedian and author of the book Modern Romance, describes how differently romance and relationships are cultivated in generations past. Courtship and accessibility to meeting partners were very different then, and yet principles he identified can still be used today in building connections of any kind, from professional to personal. So Ansari describes how attraction and chemistry develop as common experiences attraction and chemistry develop as common experiences are shared. Inside jokes are developed and familiarity builds over successive meetings. There's no difference in fostering relationships beyond chance encounters, whether for personal or professional pursuits. And so the idea here being that as you get to know somebody better, they get to know you. They start to pay attention to the things that are meaningful to you. And hopefully they start to show up in ways that let you know that. So for example, after a few encounters, asking you, by the way, how was it at the dentist that day? Or how did your conference go that day? Or, how did that meeting go that you were preparing for? These are the moments in which you start to feel significant, and you start to notice somebody's character, or the fact that they're attentive, or you just start to develop a likability and a sense of getting to know who this person is and how they show up in relationship. And, that might be in the personal arena. It might show up very differently in the professional arena. How reliable are they? How is their follow through? So in any case, it is so important to consider that this book, again, it teaches you how to plant seeds in a lot of different places rather than waiting for seeds to come to you, rather than waiting for someone to go to the store, buy the seeds and drop them in front of you, rather than waiting for the wind to blow the seeds your way. The book teaches you to take responsibility and ownership over planting those seeds everywhere you go by trying to bring out the best in people, by showing up yourself in ways that are more likely to attract the best in people, and then deciding which of those connections would you like to foster further? Which of those connections are you going to then, try to build, try to cultivate, try to water? And it's not at all about judging whether someone is worth your time and attention. It's more a sense of it, with whom do you align? Where does there seem to be more of an organic connection? And where do you feel like you've got an interest or a curiosity to get to know somebody a little bit further? So that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you will consider hopping on Amazon or whatever platform you use for ordering your books, paperback, or this is also available in ebook format. And so I would love if you would give my book a chance. Let me know what you think, and share your personal anecdotes about what you take away from it. Those are honestly my favorite parts of the book, or being a part of the discussion and sharing with me some of your takeaways. So thanks for watching, and I will talk with you soon.